Well, a very good afternoon, Dudu. And yes, you're quite correct indeed. We are joined by the MEC of Health, who's going to be giving us more clarity about why he was visiting the mine today. MEC, thank you very much for joining us. If you could just highlight your significance today and why is it that you are here today with some of your management team from the Department of Health?
Out of a program of screening mine workers who are returning for work in Kalgold mine, it was detected that 2 of them were tested positive after results came out. I am here visiting the mine to check its compliance on readiness on COVID-19 retaining workers procedures. What I'm here for is to establish facts as to whether they are complying with precautionary measures determined by National Command Council on how employers should prepare workplaces before they take workers back. These 2, of course, do not reside here in the mine. They reside in the community, which means we have 3 types of their conducts. The first type is the core employees who were with them when they were screened all together. The second type is their families where they reside. The third type is the community. Who did they had contact with in the community? But as a department, we are ready in terms of contact tracing. I'm here for compliance, for returning to work by the companies, checking whether it complies. The issue is, if it does not comply for COVID-19 requirements for bringing back workers, as a department, we can stop them. But if it has a problem, compliance as a mining sector, the responsibility to stop them is for Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. But for COVID-19 compliance, if I get in here and I leave not being happy that they are complying, that's our responsibility. It's COVID-19 responsibility on compliance. But compliance as a mine has to be dealt with by Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. For now, I don't want to preempt. I want to go in there, get presentation, see for myself, and then gauge as to whether on compliance on COVID-19 workplace readiness, are they complying? Based on that, we'll take a decision with them in the meeting.
And then, MEC, just if you could tell us, earlier on we spoke to the executive director of the company, Mr. Mashego, who was quite adamant that there had been safety measures put in place, such as the workshop where these 2 people who tested positive for COVID-19 had been working has been decontaminated, and he also said that deep cleaning process would then go into place. Now, if you could just tell us, when should we expect the findings? When will you be telling us if, yes, indeed, they can continue operating, or no, they have to close?
On my visit to check workplace compliance, today you are going to get my decision as to whether they close for decontamination or whether they proceed doing the work. But I must get that from their presentation first and not judge them before I go in. But for compliance on COVID-19 workplace compliance, you will get my decision today, because there's proper procedures on how a workplace must be prepared to allow workers to come back. But we must then not lie to the people and make an assumption that this is a mining problem. For us, this is a community problem, because these workers working in Kalgold don't reside in Kalgold. They reside in communities, which means they have their families, they have their friends in the communities. We must look to the workplace compliance, but look and be ready for contact tracing in the communities where they reside.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, MEC.
Thank you very much.
All right. There you go, Dudu. As it stands, the MEC says that he will be going inside now and to see if compliance and that there were regulations that are being followed by the company, and will be getting results as to what is the way forward. Should the company continue operating or not? But most importantly, what we should be taking from here is the tracing system that's been put in place. We do know that these 2 mine workers that tested positive for COVID-19 had been in contact with 21 of the workers in the mine. So they also now have to look into the communities where they reside, most importantly their families, if their lives are also not at risk.
The MEC noting there this was not just a mining problem, it's a community problem. Thank you very much to my colleague.